and good morning to one and all. For the today's morning session, the first speaker is not ready now, so we will start the program with the session by Sister Rabia Bashir, Vice Principal from iMax and Nursery and Primary School. Alhamdulillah, I am very proud to introduce Sister Rabia Basri. She is from the school in which I am in the management. Rabia Basri, I would like to introduce very important thing is she is a regular participant in our morning program for the past nearly 2 years since we started. So we can be happy that the one of the regular participant is presenting today. That's a very important one. Basically, Rabia Basri is a teacher in our iMax school, Raipeta branch, for 14 years. And she attended KG training, kindergarten teacher training, conducted by OMIET. Later, in 2011, I think, she attended trainers training by conducted by the OMIET. And she became the trainer, the resource person for conducting the kindergarten training workshops conducted by OMIET. Sister Rabia Bashiri as conductors and number of training sessions in OMIET. Alhamdulillah. Another very important feature of Sister Rabia Basri is she is a special educator. In our iMax, Alhamdulillah, we have established a resource center for children with difficulty. Resource center, remedial center. We have established a center at the cost of 1.5 lakh nearly in collaboration with Madras Dyslexia Association. And we are giving the remedial to the children in the mainstream. அதாவது children with difficulty அவங்கள வந்து தனியா ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் ஸ்கூலுக்கு அனுப்பாம சில்ட்ரன் வித் டிஃபிகல்ட்டியை ப்ராப்பரா சயின்டிஃபிக்கா ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி எங்க ஸ்கூல்லயே மெயின் ரெகுலர் ஸ்கூலிங்லயே அவங்களுக்கு ஃபியூ ஹவர்ஸ் ஒதுக்கி அவங்களுக்கு ரெகுலரா ஒரு ரெமெடியல் கொடுத்து அவங்கள அப்படியே அவங்க when they come up we take them in the mainstream. ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்து ஐமேக்ஸ்ல வாட் ப்ராக்டிஸ் வி ஹாவ் அதுல வந்து 3 லெவல் இருக்கு. நம்பர் 1, we conducted a awareness program for all the teachers by MDA. And then one of the teacher whom we selected was Sister Rabia Basri, was trained as special educator. She went on for about 40 days intensive training by MDA. And then we established a resource room remedial center in our school. Now, Rabia Basri sister will handle 3 sessions on this topic. Best practices in iMax school in dealing with learning difficulty in regular schooling. She will handle 3 sessions. First session is going to be introductory session. She will detail what is learning difficulty, why it is, how to deal those children in general will be dealt today. Next 2 sessions, Sister Rabia Basri will detail what we do in iMax. Now over to Sister Rabia Basri. Sister, you can move on to slideshow. I click from current slide. You can start, sister.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Your voice
Am
is
I audible, sir?
your voice is a bit low. Please increase.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
First, I would like to thank Nasser sir for giving me this opportunity to take a session on practices in iMax, nursery and primary school in dealing with children with learning difficulties in regular schooling. Today, I'm going to handle the session on learning disability. What is learning disability? Learning disability students may have trouble in processing information, organizing information, applying information. Learning disability is a neurological condition that interferes with a person's ability to store, process, or produce information. Learning disability can affect
Sister,
one's ability.
slide is not moving.
Yes, sir. I'm just explaining this slide.
Okay, fine.
One second. Now also it's not moving. This slide. Now it's moving. Now can you see my slide, sir?
Yes, move on.
Yes, okay. Learning disability is a neurological condition. Am I audible, sir?
You are audible, but the slide is not seen. It is only black. Move on to next slide. Completely black. Yeah, now okay. Now okay, sister.
Now
It's
okay,
on
sir?
slideshow.
Okay. Now I cannot move.
Okay, proceed, sister.
Disability Having trouble in processing information, organizing, learning interferes or produce and affect one's ability to read, write, spell, compute math, attention, social.
Sister, voice is breaking.
Hello.
Voice is breaking. Hello?
Sir, can you see my screen, sir?
Not yet. Not.
No.
Yeah. Sister, you proceed. Fazal has shared the screen.
Okay. Now then now next slide.
And
Yes. Learning disability is a neurological disorder. It is a condition, it's a hidden disparity between ability and level and performance. High IQ affects academic performance in about 10 to 15%. It is a lifelong process. Learning disability is a neurological condition and hence it's not a sign of low intelligence. In fact, children with learning disability
you are not audible, sister. Rabia, sister, you are not audible.
Now, sir, now am I audible?
Now okay. Now okay.
Okay. Then previous slide, neurological disorder. Yes. Learning disability is a neurological condition and hence is not a sign of low intelligence. In fact, children with learning disabilities have average and above average intelligence. Children with learning disorders are not able to acquire academic skills expected for their age, intellectual ability, and education. Learning disability is a lifelong. It cannot be cured because it is not a disease. It is a condition. However, with timely intervention and support, children with learning disabilities can be successful in school. Parents and teachers are the first person to notice that child is finding it difficult to read, write, or learn. Learning difficulty is a lifelong condition. In some children, several overlapping learning disabilities may occur. Others may have a single isolated learning problem that has little impact on their lives. The most common treatment for learning disability is special education. So next slide, sir. Next slide. Okay. There is no real cause. Might be caused by heredity. Previous slide, brother. Might be caused by hereditary, medical, environmental. Next slide. During pregnancy and childbirth. Learning disabilities may be caused by illness or injury during or before birth. Learning disabilities may also be caused by the use of drugs and alcohol during pregnancy. Premature or prolonged labor or lack of oxygen or low weight at birth may be some of the reasons for learning disability. Next slide. Types of learning disability. Today, in our today's session, we are going to see 4 types of learning disability. The first one is dyslexia, a language and reading disability. Second, dyscalculia, problems with arithmetic and math concept. Third, dysgraphia, a writing disorder resulting in illegibility. Fourth, dyspraxia, sensory integration disorder, problem with motor integration. Now let's see in detail dyslexia. Next slide. Brother, next slide. Actually, brother, you are not latest PPT I have sent to NASA, sir.
Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
1 minute. You keep talking.
Okay, sir. Dyslexia. Dyslexia is one of the learning disability where the students find difficulty in learning languages. People with dyslexia often experience other symptoms. They may include failure to fully understand what others are saying, difficulty in organizing written and spoken language, delayed ability to speak, poor self-expression, for example, saying things are stuck for words not recalled, difficulty learning new vocabulary either through reading or hearing, trouble learning foreign languages, slowness in learning songs and rhymes, slow reading as well as giving up no longer reading tasks, difficulty in understanding questions and following the directions, poor spelling, difficulty in recalling numbers in sequence, for example, telephone numbers and address are some of the symptoms of the dyslexic student. Sir, can you share the screen?
It's too big to attach. It takes time.
Okay, sir. Then shall I move on to the next slide, sir?
Yeah, you move on. You keep talking.
Okay. The second type of learning disability is dysgraphia. Dysgraphia signs, some of the signs of this condition may include a strong dislike of writing or drawing, problem with grammar, trouble writing down ideas, a quick loss of energy and interest while writing, trouble writing down thoughts in a logical sequence, leaving words unfinished or omitting them when writing sentences. The third type of learning disability is dyscalculia. The students will be finding difficult in handling the numbers. The signs of this ability include problems understanding basic arithmetic concepts such as fractions, number lines, and positive and negative numbers. Other symptoms may include difficulty with math-related word problems, trouble making change in cash transactions, messiness in putting math problem in paper, trouble recognizing logical information, sequences, for example, steps in math problem, trouble with understanding the time sequence of events, difficulty with verbally describing math processes. The fourth type is Dyspraxia. So, dyspraxia, the children will have problem with the executive function. Some other symptoms. Yes, next. Dyslexia slide. Yes, brother. Brother, before slide. No, I did not complete those slides, the previous slides. The before one, previous one. Previous. Disabilities of the students may include most students exhibit uneven areas of ability. Student is physically normal. When you see a child, we cannot say this child has learning disability. Only by assessing the children in their academic performance, we come to know that the child has learning disability. Either the child falls under the category of dyslexia or dyscalculia or dysgraphia. Their IQ will be average or above average intelligence. They may be hyperactive, impulsive, fidgety, inattentive, unreasonable emotional negativity, emotional outbursts, frustration over minor issues, disorganized, bedwetting. But all the characteristics may vary with the age appropriate level. Next slide, please. When it comes for academic, they may show the slow reading rate, problems remembering math facts, problems with reasoning and abstract concept, difficult finding important points or main ideas, problems understanding what is read. This sign of learning disability, there is no one sign that shows a person has learning disability. We look for a noticeable difference between how well a child does in school and how well he or she could do given in his or her intelligence and ability. Next slide, please. Characteristics, letter and number reversals. The dyslexic children sees B for D or P for 6 for 9.
Sister.
Next slide, please. Dyslexia slides, sir. Yes. Dyslexia. An individual with dyslexia may mix up letters within words and sentences while reading. He may have difficulty in spelling words correctly while writing. Letter reversals are common. Some individuals with dyslexia have a difficult time with navigating and route finding tasks as they are easily confused by directions and spatial information such as left and right. Next slide, please. Brother, next slide. Dysgraphia. An individual with dysgraphia has a difficult time with the physical task of forming letters and words using a pen and paper and has difficulty producing legible handwriting. Dysgraphia, the other signs of this condition may include a strong dislike of writing or drawing, problems with grammar, trouble writing down ideas, a quick loss of energy and interest while writing, trouble writing down thoughts in a logical sequence, leaving words unfinished or omitting them when writing sentences. The third type is dysgraphia, dyscalculia. A person with dyscalculia has difficulty understanding and using math concept and symbols. Signs of this disability include problems understanding basic arithmetic concept such as fractions, number lines, and positive and negative numbers. Other symptoms may include difficulty with math-related word problems, trouble making change in cash transaction, messiness in putting math problems on paper, trouble recognizing logical information in sequence, for example, steps in math problems, trouble with understanding the time sequence of events, difficulty with verbally describing math process. The next type is dyspraxia. A person with dyspraxia has problems with motor tasks such as hand-eye coordination that can interfere with learning. Some other symptoms of these conditions include problem organizing oneself and one's things, breaking things, trouble with tasks that require eye-hand coordination such as coloring within the lines, assembling puzzles, and cutting precisely, poor balance, sensitivity to loud noise, sensitivity to touch. Prevalence. 5 to 10% of the world population suffers from dyslexia. 1 of every 10 children is dyslexic according to the research done in the year 2006. 15 to 20% of US population are dyslexic. At risk. The term at risk is used to describe children below the age of 7 who have a higher probability of developing a learning difficulty at a later stage. So, early intervention is advisable. What is early intervention? Early intervention focuses on early identification of children who might be at risk and guiding children and parents towards the necessary action, including remediation. Early intervention creates a recognition and response system to enable and empower children and parents before the child faces failure at school. Why so early? From birth to 5 years, brain develops rapidly. Neuroplasticity, ability of the brain to adapt, reorganize, and form new neural connections is at its peak. Ability and performance for at-risk learners can be addressed optimally when it is intervened early. So early intervention is very benefit for the students as well as for the parents to deal with the children. Benefits of early intervention helps families plan according to the child's strength and needs and reduce anxiety, providing support to fill the gaps, aiding to holistic development of the child. Our motto is not to label them, not to brand the children that they have learning disability. Our first and foremost motto is to identify these children, but not brand them, help them and watch them bloom into beautiful flowers. How we do it? First, we'll recognize their past achievement, what they can do, where they have trouble. By the previous assessment, based on the previous assessment and past achievement, we'll understand the present needs. Then we'll address the future. Accordingly, we plan for the remediation. Famous persons with dyslexia: Thomas Alva Edison, Walt Disney, Tom Cruise, Leonardo da Vinci, Alexander Graham Bell, George Washington, Abhishek Bachchan, Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs are some of the famous celebrities with dyslexia. Thomas Alva Edison could not read until he was 12 years old. He had very poor handwriting skills. Make it or break it. That will either be a total success or a total failure. Now the ball is in our court. We have to identify the learning disability student and we have to handle them properly. If you are not identifying the dyslexic children and if the teacher is not handling the student properly, so they may face the failure in their life. So at the result, there will be school dropouts and they'll become a burden to the society. So we have to make them shine as a celebrities like Thomas Alva Edison and Einstein, we as a teacher should identify the learning disability student in early stage and we have to give the proper remediation to overcome the difficulties. Comorbidity. Comorbidity means that certain diseases and disorders tend to occur together. In 25% of the cases of learning disabilities, a comorbid condition is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, that is ADHD. Role of parents and supervisors. As a parent and as a teacher, we have to encourage them, motivate them, appreciate them. See, if you demotivate them, these children will go into the shell. It's very difficult to come out of the shell. So only through encouragement, appreciation, motivation, only we can make the children to complete the task. They'll come forward, they will show interest. If we always pinpoint them, we blame them, shout at them, they'll be they have scared to come to school. They won't come to school. They'll be the dropout from the school. And at last, at the home also, they will not be having any support from the parents' side. Which parent will accept the child is not going to school, sitting simply at home? There also, they'll get more frustration, more stress. At last, what will happen? They will run away from the house. At last, they'll become a burden to the society. So we should not leave these children to go to that extreme. In the initial stage itself, we have to identify their problem and accordingly, we have to take the remedial class and we have to encourage them, motivate them. We should know what they can do. Accordingly, only we have to take the class for them. We cannot treat them as a normal children. Explain task more than once. Ensure back. Whether they have understood our explanation, we have to ensure them back. Provide additional time. Avoid more instruction. One instruction at a time should be given. Multiple instruction they cannot take. Avoid small prints, overcrowded text. Use bullet points, more space, color coding, flow chart, whiteboards can be used. Remedial teaching. Remedial teaching will be systematic. It should be a systematic teaching. First, we have to identify the strength and needs of the children. Then we have to start the individualized teaching and multisensory teaching method using multiple intelligence and learning style of the child. Phonetic. There are different types of learners. All the children are not equal. Each child is unique. Based on that.
Sister?
Yes, sir.
We can stop here because you are the most continuing. We will give you one more.
Sir.
So no problem. Okay, sister.
Okay, sir.
Jazakallah khair, sir. It's a very good, excellent presentation. Very lot of information present in a very capsulated manner. அதாவது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு டாபிக் அதுல இருக்கக்கூடிய முத்தான விஷயங்களை எதையும் சரியான பொருத்தமான விஷயங்களை மிஸ் பண்ணிடக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லி ரொம்ப அழகா கோர்வையா சிஸ்டர் ராபியா பஸ்ரி ஒரு இன்ட்ரோடக்டரி செஷன் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இன்ஷால்லா நெக்ஸ்ட் செஷன்ல வந்து ஆக்சுவலா ரெமெடியல் எப்படி பண்றது, ப்ராக்டிக்கலா எப்படி பண்றது, டே டு டேல எப்படி பண்றது. இதுல ஒரு பெரிய சேலஞ்சு என்னன்னா பேரண்ட்ஸ் கோஆப்ரேஷன். முதல்ல பேரண்ட்ஸே ஒத்துக்க மாட்டாங்க. என் புள்ள நார்மல், என் புள்ள நல்ல பிள்ளை ஏன்னா அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ ஸ்டார்ட் வித் கன்வின்சிங் த பேரண்ட் டு பிரிங் த complete remedy. Inshallah, Rabia sister will deal in sessions to come in forthcoming weeks.